Game 7 of the World Series is on right now. Why are you listening to my podcast? Well, thanks for tuning in, I guess. I'm Nick Butts. Welcome to Butts Talk. Let's get started. Last week gave us some great college football action. 3 things. 1, Irish. Notre Dame looks crazy good right now. They went out, they're in. 2, Alabama will only use their number 2 ranking as motivation that they need to be better. Now, they play 3 ranked teams this month, but don't be surprised if they're all blowouts in the Tide's favor. 3, Wisconsin and Miami are correctly ranked by the committee. Despite being undefeated, they haven't played anyone good, really. Now, if it comes down to it, poor strength of schedule could end up being what keeps these 2 teams out of the playoff. My Week 9 picks record was great, once again. I went 4-1 for the second week in a row. My 2 incorrect picks the last 2 weeks, both picks against Oklahoma State. Now, granted, they've only won their last 2 by a combined 14 points, so I was close. My picks for Week 10. Number 4, Clemson, an 8-point favorite at number 20, NC State, 3:30 on ABC. This one is for the Atlantic. Whoever wins this will most likely face the winner of Virginia Tech and Miami in the ACC Championship. Clemson has a big game mentality. They are the better team in this matchup, but NC State is tough to beat at home, and they want their revenge after what happened last year. However, Clemson's defense will pull through once again, and the Tigers win a big game in Raleigh. Number 5, Oklahoma, at number 11, Oklahoma State. OK State, a 2.5-point favorite at home, 4 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Bedlam mode. Oh. This is going to be good. 2 of the best quarterbacks in the country facing off against each other in one of the best rivalries in all of college football. Baker Mayfield and Mason Rudolph both have been lighting up defenses this year. I expect to see a very high-scoring game. Both QBs will be putting up video game numbers, but at the end of the day, Oklahoma State wins this game, and a trip to Ames, Iowa looms next week for the Cowboys. Number 19, LSU at number 2, Alabama. The Tide, a 21.5-point favorite at home, 8 o'clock on CBS. We can sit here and talk about how LSU could go into Tuscaloosa and upset the Tide, but let's not kid ourselves here. Yes, LSU is a completely different team than when it lost to Troy, but they're facing an undefeated Bama squad again. The pattern of Alabama's defense completely swallowing the Tigers' offense continues, and the Tide roll their rival at home. Number 13, Virginia Tech, a 2.5-point favorite on the road at number 10, Miami, 8 o'clock on ABC. Now, this one is for the Coastal. We've all seen how Miami has been playing. They're struggling to beat teams that they should be blowing out. And Virginia Tech has been playing really well outside of the loss to Clemson. Both teams have tons of talent, but when it's all said and done, the Hokies leave Coral Gables as the Coastal Division leader. Number 22, Arizona, at number 17, SC. SC, a 7-point favorite at home, 10:45 on ESPN. 2 words, Khalil Tate. He has gotten Arizona to this point a chance to win the Pac-12 South. Zona has rallied around Tate, and ever since he became starter, they haven't lost. SC bounced back nicely after losing to Notre Dame by obliterating Arizona State. I feel like this will be a very entertaining game. Late night at the Coliseum, the road team escapes with a win and assumes control of the Pac-12 South. Bear down. Arizona wins. Now to the playoff eliminator. This week, we eliminate 2 teams, but also add 2 more to the mix. 2 teams move from the undefeated column to the one-loss column. Here we go. Undefeateds, Georgia at 8-0, Alabama at 8-0, Wisconsin at 8-0, Miami at 7-0. And welcome to the ranks of the undefeateds, UCF at 7-0. One-loss teams with no margin for error. If they lose, they're eliminated. Notre Dame at 7-1, Clemson at 7-1, Oklahoma at 7-1, Ohio State at 7-1, Oklahoma State at 7-1, and Virginia Tech at 7-1. Now, welcome to the one-loss column. Penn State 7-1, TCU 7-1, and new to the list altogether, Washington 7-1. Eliminated last week, NC State 6-2, Michigan State 6-2. Those two teams have no chance of making the playoff now. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is UCF there? Well, they're undefeated, and they've beaten a top 25 team, which is one more than Miami and Wisconsin have each beaten. Anyway, my top 4 is actually exactly the same as the committee rankings. Same order and all. Georgia, Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson. The committee got these rankings right. They really considered strength of schedule this time. My Heisman winner? Different this week. JT Barrett. If he continues to play at the level he's been playing at, that trophy is his. Thank you all for listening. This is Butts Talk. I'm Nick Butts. Good night.